times have come. Here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind or the sun or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper. You'll be able to fly. Valentine is done here, but now they're gone. Romeo and Juliet are together in eternity. Romeo and Juliet, women every day. And Juliet, women every day, like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't fear the reaper. You'll be able to fly. Don't fear the reaper. Baby, I'm your man. La 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 la. La 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 la. came the last night of sadness, and it was clear that you couldn't go on. And the door was open and the wind appeared. The candles blew then disappeared. The curtains blew then he appeared. Don't be afraid, come on baby. She had no fear. She went to him and they started to fly. They looked backwards and said goodbye. She had become like they are. She had taken his hand. She had become like they are. Come on baby, don't fear the reaper. You'll be able to fly. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Good evening, my beautiful crime family, on this awesome Friday night. And we have an awesome show lined up for you tonight with a special guest, T.O.E.S, and maybe another special guest in a little while. Also, right now, he's backstage right now. So, yeah, there's been a lot going on in this case, and we need to talk some about what's going on because there's some crazy shit out there. And we'll see if we match, and I think we will on the questions that have to be asked. And anyway, I need to say hi to my beautiful crime family. And so, yes, Angela, TK, Targeting, good to see you. Oh, wait a minute, I'm way behind. I keep scrolling down. Okay, we'll start that over. Hope Norris, good to see you. Joey, my brother, good to see you. Deborah Thompson, good to see you. Deborah Ackman, my girl, good to see you. Angela, again, good to see you. Terry Martin, my girl, good to see you. Leo, good to see you. Circus Music, good to see you. Squishy Bum, good to see you. Sam Morris, good to see you. Nacho Healy, my girl, good to see you. I don't know if I can keep up. Social Glow, good to see you. Crime Spy, good to see you. Okay, Lisa Hedrick, good to see you. Hope Norris, good to see you. Bev Marks, good to see you. Snow Leopard, good to see you. Jackie Busherville, good to see you. Mystic Virgo, good to see you. Debbie Gazzardo, my girl, good to see you. Swampside Chick, good to see you. Deborah Thompson, good to see you. Colder Covered, good to see you. Open Mind Perspectives, good to see you, girl. And Grant Clarkson, good to see you. And Rachel Smith, good to see you. And to everybody, Bonnie Bailey, good to see you. Everybody that's up there, Elizabeth Wagner, there is like a lot. And so I'm going to stop it there. I'll be going all night. Anyway, so let's introduce Mr. T.O.E.S. How you doing, T.O.E.S?
Hey, what up, Tommy?
Not much, man. How you been doing?
Man,
I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I've been around. I'm a lurker. I'm a spectator. You know, sometimes
Lurker?
Yeah,
Are you a stalker?
Nah, not a stalker. Just a lurker.
All right, then I want to introduce a friend of both of ours, and Mr. Rory is here tonight. Hey, Rory, how you doing, brother?
What's up, T.O.E.S? How you doing, buddy?
What up, buddy, man? How you been?
Chilling, boss.
Man, you know something I just thought of. We're about the only true crime people that's actually physically met up, and you know, most people they do it like this, but I've had the pleasure to actually physically.
I watched that show. Yeah.
We did that on the fly, right in downtown Spokane, man. So it was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun time, man. Well, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Good seeing you too, man.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, how we doing tonight?
Yeah, a lot to talk about, Rory. Holy shit.
A lot
to talk about, man.
Yeah.
You think? Guess what? Guess what I was just informed of? There's more.
Yeah, I just saw that in the chat. Someone posted that there's more.
There's more just popped up.
Yeah.
And most of them are red, and most of them have that little red thing. So
okay. Wow. Here we go.
So do you think? But you know, when I see this crap, are they just trying to do what they did to Ann Taylor? Here's fucking 68 terabytes.
Yep.
Try to figure it out.
Yep.
That's what it seems like they're doing to us.
Kind of feels that way. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they gonna get away with this shit?
I hope not, man. I'm upset. To be honest with you, there should be other people locked up right now other than Brian Koberg. I'm really upset over what I've read in the past 24 hours. Really, I am.
Same here. Yep, same here.
You and I were talking about this till like 2 a.m. last night, buddy. I mean, it was just like, what?
Right?
What happened? Yeah.
Last 2 nights.
Yeah, it looks like we get a Friday night special, buddy. So yeah.
Right. So yeah, let's take a look at some things here. Which one do I want to go to? Which one is this? Hopefully I get the shit right. I think I will. Okay, the redaction part, redacted. What is that? Let me look here. What is this, Jess? Is this what I'm thinking it is here? The conversation, extraction. Okay, well, I'll start reading. I know what's going to come up probably on some of this.
They just want people to stop talking about shit.
Yeah, they want people to stop talking about shit. Yeah, right.
That's all it is. Orders to seal.
Order to seal. Right. So, and respectfully moves the court for an order in limine, allowing the state to admit the text messages of DM on November 13th, 2022, and the testimony from DM and BF regarding their conversations with each other on November 13th, 2022. The phone records were discovered on the hard drive, DM, iPhone extraction. So they extracted the iPhone, provided April 5th, 2023. So it took them, are you serious? It took them that long to get to that? Mm-hmm. Provided on April 5th. Right there, to me, it starts out with trouble right away. Regarding their conversations with each other November 13th, right? And they have a hard drive, an iPhone extraction, and it's the tech. Wouldn't you think they would get to this a little sooner than April 5th of 2023?
Tommy, it took 2.5 years to get a bunk picture of the car. What do you really we're not.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm just saying it's Keystone Cops, bro. We're not working with top-notch law enforcement here, guys. So,
My God! I think Keystone Cops are better. I think the Three Stooges were better, dude.
At least they're funny. At least I get a laugh,
Yeah, I had heard some type of rumor that the reason why it took so long is because the messages were deleted, and it so-called took law enforcement that much time to recover the deleted text or to be able to get them in their hands.
So they actually deleted them then.
That's what I heard. I'll take it as a rumor until I see it.
I need to get a red flag.
Yep.
Wave a red flag.
Yeah.
Who would delete, knowing that it's evidence, right? Knowing that the police might be looking for this stuff, then they delete it.
Well, Tommy, you and I kind of talked about, if you go through the text messages, doesn't it not seem kind of contrived, a little chopped? It doesn't seem like a real conversation. So, I mean, maybe
it doesn't.
Somebody went through.
It seems like they were actually having a phone conversation and texting at the same time. That's just from my observation.
That could be. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of dialogue that's missing in between there. And with it being such a short period of time, it just seems like they might have been on the phone and maybe texting as well, which I don't know.
That's some serious multitasking, my friend. That's well, if Dylan's drunk and having episodes and doesn't know where the hell she is, I mean, talking and texting at the same time might be beyond her capabilities. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just my observation. But who knows?
I feel like adrenaline is always going to overpower intoxication. If it's not that just one person got killed in that house, we're dealing with 4 different scenarios. That's enough to sober up the most intoxicated person.
Well, I'll say this:
you would think, especially your friends. Yeah,
people you live with. These are like almost like your family members, not just your friends.
Right.
These are people you break bread with.
Right.
Well, there's rumors also that these guys weren't on the best of terms. We've heard that before. We don't know. Dylan was kind of the outsider from what I hear, which doesn't surprise me.
That's what I heard too.
So, who really knows what the relationships were in that house at that particular time?
I got to thinking of something earlier today. I can't remember which chat I was in earlier, but I almost wonder if there was food insecurities in that house, especially if you go back to the night that the crime occurred. You got Kaylee and Maddie sharing food. You have Ethan and Xana, who so-called ordered a pizza at midnight. And then Xana, again, that received a DoorDash order at 4:00. You're talking about starving college students. And people can be petty out there. And if you're just sitting here watching people eat and you're over here starving, and I'm not justifying what happened at all that night, but I almost just wonder if there could have been food insecurities going on in that house as well.
If people were broke, some of them might not have been. Some of them might have been raised differently, and the family had money. Then you might have somebody that scraped and scrimped for every little penny they had. Yeah, you never know about that, right?
Yeah. I'm just still trying to find a motive, like all of us out here. Like, what could have triggered this whole event?
Well, that's what's missing. That's what's fucking missing is the motive. There is no motive for Brian. There is none. There is no motive for Brian.
Hey,
No.
Tommy. Your channel's a smoke free. You can smoke in your in-
are you are you seriously asking that question?
Right. No, I don't get docked. I don't get docked. I don't get anything.
smoke them if you
Yeah,
got
so,
them.
some people have what do you call it? They have sponsors, so they get nailed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had that happen to a guest that I was on their channel, and they didn't want me on there anymore. The sponsor didn't.
Oh wow. Bye.
Unless, yeah, unless I quit, unless I didn't smoke.
Yeah. We've probably been smoking
I
about the same
choose
amount of
smoking.
time. Yeah.
What's that, Toes?
I said we've probably been smoking about the same amount of time, and people tell me, you should quit, and I'm like, man, I've been smoking 42 years, and I don't think it's I don't
54
think
year or
yeah.
50 or 50, 52, yeah, 52 years, yeah. How are we supposed to stop?
Yeah. right. I could if I would.
Pretty much in your DNA by now, huh, boys?
Oh yeah. Shit, I'm a walking cigarette, man.
Part of my DNA, right. I'm not finding the one that I wanted to find.
Which one?
That main one with the Dylan and Bethany talking.
The texting?
What is it?
The texting?
Yeah, where the hell is that?
You gotta. I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Okay, because for some reason it's not coming up here.
It's because it's no longer a new document. It's way at the bottom.
Yeah, but I bookmarked it. We're gonna line some stuff up here, so I think I'll. Why did the? Here is no. I don't know if I'm going to run this or not. It's 27 minutes. This is the question I got, and I'm sure we all do. Let me see. And this is a bubbly video here. And oh God. Okay, so she's got it right at the beginning here. I'll let her talk a little bit here. You'll know what I'm saying. No, that's right here. Why did DM want to talk to EG after he dropped the girls off at 2:10?
She could have been hungry, man. Like I said, it might be something that we can't even wrap our just like I said, human beings can be real petty, man. Just
then there's nothing after that though about it. There's nothing after about it. And what does she ask? Are you driving?
Like, I'm a driver. Yeah, I'm driving. Maybe she wanted to go get some food. Maybe that macaroni and cheese was smelling really good. And has it been confirmed if Dylan and Bethany, either one of them, had a vehicle?
I believe what's her name? Dylan had a black Jeep, correct? Bethany, never heard, but
so were any of their vehicles seized at the crime scene? Like say for example, Ethan's brother's vehicle was seized. Were their vehicles seized? I wonder.
I think so. Wasn't one of them blue? Whose car was the blue one?
The blue.
Wasn't that Bethany's?
That was Xana's. She had the blue.
Oh, that was Xana's. That's right. That was Xana's. Right. So Xana's car was there, and we know that Kaylee's car was there.
Yeah. Maddie's.
Maddie's was there. Ethan's was there,
and his brothers. The black, was it the Black Explorer? I believe was the vehicle that his brother drove.
Yeah.
And
that the black vehicles. I heard that it was Dylan drove it, but it was her dad's. Is that what anybody else has heard?
Not the black Ford Explorer. That one had Washington plates on it, and I believe that that was a shared vehicle between Maisie and Hunter Chapin. And I know that was actually seized at the crime scene for a period of time as well, along with the red Jeep, which I believe is what Ethan might have drove.
The red Jeep was, that was Ethan's Jeep. Yeah. And the Chapin family, a lot of people don't know this or didn't know it. They got that Jeep back quite a while ago. I've actually seen videos of it with them in possession of it.
Yeah.
So they've had that for quite a while. But yeah, that whole thing really bothers me. Let's see what Bubbly has to say about this a little bit.
Okay.
She always has something good to say.
I wonder if Bubbly recognizes the Evan name. I saw the name Evan pop up in the documents, and I just wonder.
Well, okay, there's that name, Rory. Evan. Who is this Evan? Who is this Evan?
Yeah, I can't get a straight answer, bro. So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's Hunter's friend or a neighbor. So I'm caught up on. We're hearing a neighbor came over or something like that. That's the first time I've ever heard anything about that. This is the first time I heard about Evan. So kind of, I don't know. I'm a little perplexed on that one.
Do you know who Evan is?
No, I've never heard the name.
No.
I'm curious, and if anybody would know, it'd probably be Bubbly. I know she's gone throughout that whole city like the white pages.
But Strutter said, "Isn't Evan the neighbor?" Okay. Could be.
So I have a question. If it is the neighbor, why is this person over there? What do you have to do with the crime scene? Like you're the neighbor. Like why are you there? And why allegedly, if the neighbor is talking on the phone, why are you talking on the phone? Like you have nothing to do with that scene. So that's kind of where I'm a little hung up on that. So
okay. Well, here's a story I heard before this stuff came out. All right. Was that the girls went running out and that they actually had seen BLOOD and whatever, and then they went running out, and that I think it was either DM or BF went down, fainted, and somebody was standing by them. It might have been Hunter, grabbed the phone to finish the 911 call. That's what I heard before this stuff came out. So now we're hearing, that there was somebody there. But do you get that out of that? I want to know your opinion. Do you get that one of the girls could have dropped down fainting, and somebody picked up the phone and finished off the call?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't.
All right.
They both were aware. If there was ever a time to pass out and faint, it would have been at the time that
when found the bodies. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they both were aware of what was going on in that house at that time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured after reading some of this stuff.
Yeah, once again, you're not going to be in a frozen shock phase or a state of mind of shock and texting and running downstairs and then giving instructions to come down here. It's
right.
They should be locked up. They need to be locked up. I don't know if there's a petition.
I agree.
Citizens can maybe try to get in the act, get rolling or whatever. But if Brian Koberger is locked up, which he shouldn't be, because I've seen zero evidence of him being at that house, those girls should be locked up.
Yeah, they were there. They were there.
Somebody could have survived in that house.
Yep.
If 911 was called at that time, just because you stab someone doesn't mean that they die automatically.
Right.
There was a chance of 1 or 4 people surviving in that house if they would have did the right thing, and they didn't. Which lets me know that they were in on it, in my opinion.
Isn't that a crime in itself, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it
conspiracy.
Is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, accessory after the fact.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Right.
Absolutely.
Had it have been any demographic or non-college student, Let it have been somebody different. And I have a perfect example. One of my friends that was assassinated in Spokane, Washington. His cousin was a passenger in the vehicle, and he ended up serving more time than the people that actually committed the murder. The people that committed the murder only did 11 months. The passenger that got shot and didn't speak to the police because he didn't know anything, he served 5 years from hindering an investigation. You know, and that's in that region. You know, they like I say, something's not right with this.
Absolutely not. So tell us, what do you think about this, bro? What do you think? So DM and Bethany are texting to each other. DM says, "I'm so freaked out. I don't know what to do. Blah blah blah. Whatever." And then BF says, "Come to my room. Run down here." That's really really weird because
It is really weird.
I'm very sure that Dylan knows where Bethany's room is. Here's the other problem that I have with this. So allegedly, Dylan walks down to Bethany's room. Isn't the door? All doors are open. Allegedly, correct? We read this correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you don't see, and then the PCA says that this is what the PCA says. Xana is laying on the floor. You miss that? You don't take a look over and after this
Right.
stressful event happens, and you don't just take a glance, whatever.
The screams, the moaning,
anything.
You have people that are 70, 80 years old that still suffer from PTSD from Vietnam, from maybe seeing one person die, 50, 60 years ago. These girls just lost their so-called best friends, and they're out at the club partying, baseball games. Like, they had to been on it. They had to have known that they were safe. And I think both of them knew that they were safe, but one of them didn't realize that the shit got real, and that it was going to get as real as it was projected to be, and just that's from my observation,
Okay, from all of this that's been put out, are we any closer to what the exculpatory evidence is that BF has got?
I would say she more or less should be. She more or less incriminates herself. Maybe that's why it's exculpatory, because she's more or less incriminating herself by the release of those phone transcripts. That more than anything, it's not like she's saying, "Oh, I was in bed with Brian Koberger, and that's how I know he didn't do it." Because one, I believe Ann Taylor when she said that he's never been to the house. But if anything, I think
too,
I think she's more of an accomplice.
Yeah. So you also have to ask if these 4 kids were taken out, like they said, why is there not blood dripping out the hallway where, red stuff
everywhere,
like dripping down the hallway? Dylan, you can't miss that. And I also want to know did they miss that spot that goes from the first floor to the second floor on the railing? Do you miss that? Because they're up at 10:30. Here's another question, gentlemen and everybody. They are up at 10:30 in the morning. What are you doing until 11:56 for an hour and 26 minutes?
Right.
What are you doing?
When did they clean up the latent footprint?
What are you doing?
They're doing
exactly.
Yeah.
And what I seen last night is the latent footprint was actually pointed at Dylan's room.
Like she walked back in?
Something like that. It wasn't like the footprint was walking by the door. It was more angled towards like walking in the fucking door.
And think about it. Bethany's telling Dylan, run down here.
Right.
Come down here. I've been in situations where a fight might break out in a mall or something happens at a concert. When one person starts running, other people see people running, they start running as well. Bethany was on the first floor. She could have opened up her petty window and jumped on out and been like, girl, hop out. Because they both were on ground level flooring, now that I think about it. Even with Dylan, her room being on the second floor, she still was on ground level. It's not like you gotta drop down 3 floors just to get.
Yeah, no, it's ground level, second floor, right?
Why? If it's a situation where it requires you to run, I'm not just gonna run to a corner in my room, especially if I have another way out. You know, and 4 people being killed in a house, if I don't have anything to do with it, I'm diving out of windows.
Mm-hmm.
I'll deal with stitches and band-aids later, but I'm diving out of windows.
So a major problem that I
Right.
have with the situation is that where does this shock phase come from? Where does Brett Payne calculate this in his head that, oh, this girl was in a shock phase? Where eventually, okay, when did the PCA come out officially? When did that officially come out?
Was it January 5th or 4th?
So it's a long time. It was until after Koberger got
Yeah.
arrested, correct? Okay. So
Right.
how many times did they interview Dylan Martinson and ask her, do you recognize Kober? Do you know this? Or blah, 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 blah. My point is that it was a couple of months until the affidavit came out. So Brett Payne had plenty of time to access these
To get
text
that shit.
conversations and it still made the conscious decision to put Dylan's in a shock phase, clad in black, all the bullshit that we know was bullshit, and he still made that choice.
And
I have a huge problem with that.
You know, something else that I noticed that's off
Right.
too is I believe Dylan's stepmom, or I thought it was her mom, but somebody corrected me today and said it was her stepmother, is involved in law, right? Okay. Why after your first interview? Okay, I get it. Police want to interview you. You go down to the police station. You're naturally not going to have representation. But after that second interview, I don't care if I have nothing to do with this crime or not, and you're asking me questions about something,
those kind of questions, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have an attorney speak for me because
I'm gonna lawyer up.
Yeah, you know, so that part too doesn't make any sense to me. It just.
And what about this?
Yeah.
Do you remember this? That BF, they were trying to get Bethany here to testify. Do you remember this shit?
Sure do.
And what did she want? She wanted to sign a thing saying that only if she would not be arrested.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Do you remember that?
I do. I do. She wanted to be what's the word? I know one of our intelligent people in chat. They'll be able to come up.
Yeah, what's the word out there, people? Immunity.
Yeah, immunity.
Yes, immunity. That she wanted immunity. Why would somebody that had nothing, even if you lawyered up, right? Because they're asking these questions. I wouldn't want to sign some kind of immunity if I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
The only time I'd want to sign an immunity thing is I did something that might not be right.
Or I had knowledge. Yeah, I had knowledge of this crime and I didn't do anything about it, you know.
Right.
Just from reading the transcripts, that's what it's telling me. That one or two, if not both of them, had knowledge of this crime occurring.
And how long before did they have knowledge?
I have my own theory.
Or was it that week?
I think it was the week before. I think something had happened with Dylan Halloween weekend. And her dad clearly stated he does not play about his daughter. And, you know, if a dad's going to go on social media and tell the world that, like, hey, you mess with my daughter, I'm going to come for you, you should believe him. And me as a parent, I wouldn't want to be opening up my Facebook or Tick chats or whatever they're called nowadays and seeing my daughter in that type of condition. I feel like something bad had happened to her. And that's why she had invited Kaylee to come back into town as her special guest.
You know, that could be, yeah.
Yeah, and that black truck that we see in the body cam footage at around 3:00 in the morning, dude, enough people has broken that truck down and damn near proven that is the same vehicle that her dad owns, and that they've even seen her, you know, taking pictures.
And the same vehicle, it sounds like the same vehicle that pulls in there at 6:26 a.m. And it looks like, I'm just going to say, it looks like EB getting out of the vehicle carrying Murphy towards 1122.
Interesting.
Did you see that?
I did
see that footage?
I haven't. I'm aware of a loud truck at like four something in the morning, like 4:28 or 4:40.
423. Yeah. And yes, there was a dog in the front seat then too. And what's her name proved that? Who was that? Rory, allegedly innocent.
Yes.
Proved that point.
Okay.
But Bubbly brought it up, and I had seen that because I do have the 6 to 7 video. As soon as our old friend there, our old friend Gak,
Oh, gack.
no Gak, when he posted those up, all them videos. Remember when before he jumped off, he loaded it all up, and I grabbed that 6 to 7.
Yeah, I couldn't find it the other day. I was looking for it. I was going through that footage about 2 days ago, and I couldn't find that particular time hour. So someone must have like.
Oh, I got it. I can. You know what I should do? I should upload it so people can download it. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Because people should have that, because that's what Bubbly used to show that truck pulling in, and it sounds like the same truck parking in the same place.
Yeah.
And then this girl gets out with long hair, and she kind of goes like this, and you can see this long brown hair, and then she's carrying this curly dog, which you can't really tell in the cameras what color it is. You know what I'm saying?
What camera is it? The 1320 or the 1330?
The 1330.
Okay.
And yeah, you can't see the color. I mean, so, but it looks like Murphy to me. The curly hair and everything, and she's heading towards 1122. Why is that happening at 6:36 in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of unanswered questions.
The 1330 Linda Lane footage at 4:23, the vehicle, you know, the truck that starts up, that's real telling too, because that dude is booking it, man. When you see where he unlocked his vehicle from and how far of a distance that was, and the amount of time that it took him to get to that vehicle, he was running. He was double timing, as we used to say in the military. He was double timing, you know.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this and do this for our dear friend Golf.
Oh yeah.
And that is, she believed 1,000% that Oregon car had something to do with this crime.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I'm hearing, and I don't know if you hear the stuff I hear or not, so I don't know, but I'll just tell you what I heard, is that maybe I won't say who it was, but there was 2 people with the same first name in that vehicle, along with somebody else, but the 2 people with the same name, the same first name, was the driver and the passenger in that vehicle, and they went to discard of that car. So I mean, that kind of matches up. It kind of does. And why they dropped that car so fast, and guess what they did? It's gone. You know, it's gone.
Yeah, quick.
It's buried. Buried. What happened to the house?
What
happened to the house?
Parts. You probably got parts of that car over in Russia and Uzbekistan right now.
Right.
Yeah, that car should have been seized for evidence as well. You know, we don't even know if that vehicle had been even fully DNA swabbed and, you know, investigated the way that it should have been.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to know the DNA.
Yeah. The Moscow PD do you remember? They just blew it off pretty much right away. Oh yeah, we don't really care about that car. We're good.
Yeah, well, they were on Kohlberger's tail. That's why.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I don't know if you've seen one of my last videos that I released, where I actually found a clipping from a news reporter where he had stated that the Pullman Police Department said that they were on to Brian Koberger's tail ever since November 25th.
Okay.
Yeah, which
that's
is
a problem.
different than
That's a huge problem
that's a
if that
problem.
is true. Because how is
Right.
it that Brett Payne didn't hear of the name of Brian Koberger until December 19th, but
Right.
Pullman Police Department have him as a suspect as early as November 25th.
Right.
This is the problem with the case. You can't get a straight answer. Dates get changed,
That's the
motives get
problem.
changed, narratives get changed. Everybody was asleep. Now everyone's awake. There's people text. Like, this is just like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yep.
And then people like me, Tommy, you, other channels like this, we get nailed or accosted for asking questions and thinking outside the box. When it turns out, looks like we were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that we said 2 years ago.
2 years ago. This is why
coming
Tommy and I
true.
hooked up.
Yep.
And so, whatever. It's just like,
yeah, they left us no choice. It's like if you leave us as our only option to speculate, the truth is always going to have to come to the surface. It's going to come to the light. If they would have just given us the transparency that we deserve as United States citizens, that we probably wouldn't even be here talking. We would be on some other case, the Gene Hackman or something else weird. But due to the lack of transparency involved in this case is why so many people are actually attracted to this case. Majority of the people that have interest in this case never even been to the state of Idaho, let alone probably don't even have relatives. Right. Some of them might not even know where Idaho is on a map, or they didn't learn about it until this case. But
especially Moscow.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Especially Moscow. I've been there, actually been through Moscow back in 1990.
God, it had to be even smaller back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was around the time that the other unsolved crime happened. The black student that was hung.
I never heard about that.
Oh, yeah. He was a student at Moscow, and they labeled it as a suicide. Like he went to a tree and hung himself, but there's no
right.
Yeah, no. And that crime is still unsolved to this day.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that was like 91, 92, somewhere around there.
All right.
Okay, I'll ask you guys your opinion on Hombre Pavarotti. I want to know what your opinion is on some of his things that he's coming up with. I know he works hard at some stuff. Some stuff I think he's not right on. But this whole Aryan Nation thing, it makes me wonder, dude. It makes me wonder about stuff. I mean, they wouldn't be in control of all the drug money or anything like that. I mean, there's somebody actually. Here's what they're after. They're after somebody with the money, because the Aryan Nation, it's all on a front. But, you know what I mean? That's the way this business that business runs. When I was, if I got 500 pounds of weed, I never paid one freaking dime for it until I got rid of it.
I'm not saying the Aryan Nation doesn't exist in that area anymore, but after Richard Butler's compound got shut down, they more or less scattered that area. Their main headquarters ended up moving to.
Is it a little more north now, isn't it?
No, it's actually wherever the Southern Poverty and Crime Center is. I want to say it's Alabama or something like that. They actually ended up relocating their headquarters to where that is. A lot of these cops that we see with the gray hair and these dignified looking gentlemen, a lot of them were neo-Nazis, and a lot of them were recruited off of Richard Butler's compound. But going back to your original question, and I thought it's funny you asked me that, because I thought of this today. And I'm going to group Jay Embry or Jay Ombre or Pav or whatever he wants to call himself. And I'm going to group Get a Clue into this too. One thing I noticed about these two dudes, they have a problem pointing the direction and saying, you know what, there might be some police involvement here. They'll talk about everybody else, the Aryan Nation, or they won't mention
or the frats. They won't mention the frats.
but
Yep.
neither one of them will mention that there's police involvement in this. And it's clear as day. Police only cover for their own.
Yep.
They don't care how much money you
Right.
have or how much money your parents have. That's not enough for them to protect their career. And a lot of these cops, they're cops because their dads were cops and because their grandpa were cops. So I just find it odd that neither one of those two want to implicate or point directions or investigate in the direction that there might be some police involved with this crime.
I always hate saying that because I want to have faith. You know what I mean? I want to have faith in our police departments and stuff. But I'll tell you what, after reading this stuff that in the last couple of days here, I'm just going to say there's at least one of them that has to have something.
Man,
is guilty of something.
now,
What that something is, I don't know.
and
But he's
we're
guilty of
all
something.
aware of police corruption in the United States and throughout the world. But for the people that are listening, I went through it with Idaho. I actually went through it. I've been through assassination attempts, kidnapping. I've had them rob me. I can
Oh, wow.
I can go on, and I've never lived in the state of Idaho, let alone commit a crime in the state of Idaho. So I'm trying to let people
Right.
know that the level of corruption in the state of Idaho is a little bit different than some of the states that we're familiar with. You might have a police department that's corrupt, or you might have a judge that's corrupt, but in the state of Idaho, either you get in with that good old boy system or you got to go. And that's why I'm really concerned about Ann Taylor, because she's battling something that might be a little bit bigger than her. She might be putting her life in jeopardy, or her family's life in jeopardy by going against what she's going against here.
Yeah,
You know,
I can agree.
You know, because the corruption is going to get exposed, and I'm telling people, believe me, this state here, they will do whatever they want to do to you, and they will answer for it later if they have to. You know, they make up things as they go along,
and you're living there right now, right?
No, I live in Arkansas. I took my mom's advice.
Oh, that's right.
One of my mom's last pieces of advice to me before she died was do not go back to Idaho, because she knew. she
and
knew.
moms always know. Moms know.
Yeah, you don't have to be doing anything wrong to get yourself caught up in Idaho.
Yeah, it's not too hard. Not too hard. Yep. Not too hard.
Right. Okay.
Those police
sent me something here.
The judges.
Get to my email.
There's a level of corruption.
Okay.
Most people can't even comprehend. They would think you're telling them fantasies and stories if I was to sit here and tell people exactly what goes on from my personal experience in the state of Idaho.
I'd like to know that sometime. You know what I mean?
I'd be glad to tell it sometime.
Okay, here's
so T.O.E.S, to go off your kind of like your point.
We'll have to do that, but
so to go off your point, T.O.E.S, I would say I'm not going to go out and necessarily say full on corruption. I would say corruption leads to ineptitude, and who's inept in this case? The lead detective, the guy who wrote the PCA. Something is up with that dude. Something is up. The guy's covering, or he's just the dumbest cop of all time. I don't understand how you do not take. I'm talking about Brett Payne.
But think about it. Everybody has a boss. Everybody has a boss. So even with Brett Payne, if he wrote that BS PCA, his supervisor would have had to look over and be like, nah, bro, you got to do better, or this ain't going to cut it. But the fact that somebody let that bullshit slide through, it shows that they were just as corrupt too. And with that being said, I'd like to know Chief Fry's full alibi for the night that crime occurred as well. Which, ironically, I can't find that interview. It's been scrubbed from the internet as well, where he states that he was camping in the mountains that night. Couldn't be reached. And the chief of police. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to put this on screen here because this really bothers me on this one. In the case at bar starting on November 13th, 2022 at 2:10:29, DM sends a text message to EG, Uber driver, to inquire if he is driving. The state submits this text message exchange is not hearsay because it will not be offered for the truth of the matter asserted, i.e. EG's driving status. What is that? What the fuck does that mean?
All right, read that again.
Okay, in the case at bar starting November 13th, 2022 at 2:10:29, DM sends a text message to EG, Uber driver, to inquire if he is driving. The state submits this text message exchange is not hearsay because it will not be offered for the truth of the matter asserted, i.e. EG's driving status. Instead, it would be offered to show a timeline for the night. Now, yeah, to me, yeah, that's the timeline there. And you know it, Rory. You know what my theory is. That fits. That's the timeline where that's what I've been saying all along.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it in here? Why are they showing this?
Well, because what was the initial reports from law enforcement and the mainstream media that these people were all asleep when these crimes occurred and all this. So what the defense is doing is establishing a timeline that nope, Dylan was up. Now you gotta. What's the quote? Why is she texting an Uber driver? Are you driving right now? So are you trying to? Why? Okay, so you're not looking for Maddie and Kaylee because guess what? They got home at 1:56.
Right,
So
they're already home.
That can't be the excuse. So why are you texting this EG asking if he's driving? Now, is it a possible booty call? Or are they together in some way? That's a possibility.
That's what I was wondering. Right.
That's a possibility. Or is this Dylan wants to get out of the house for some reason? But again, she's supposed to be piss ass drunk right now. So I'm having a hard time with Dylan because where are you going to go at 2 o'clock in the morning in Moscow? That doesn't make any sense.
Isn't this private driver? Doesn't his wife work for like the police force or something?
Yep.
Well, so that's the problem. So there you go. So
Yep. Sure does. Yep.
So
then it goes on to say DM was awake and texting at 2:10:29 and from 4:19. See, they skip. So they skipped here. They skip
2 hours. Yep.
2 hours. They skip 2 hours. So right at 2:10 after that text message, she goes right to sleep. And doesn't wake up until 4 o'clock, 4:19, whatever.
What about Bethany? Was she asleep?
We don't know.
Well, it says here.
Okay, wait. So what does the PCA say about Bethany? What does the PCA say about Bethany?
Well,
not much.
You're right. What's the PCA?
That she observed Ethan and Xana at the Sigma Chi party from 9 p.m. until 1:45-ish.
Yeah.
So implying that she's supposed to be at that Sigma Chi party. Well, that's probably a bunch of bullshit too. So, but that's what the PCA says.
That's what the PCA. Now, I got to ask you guys this too. Can you take everything that was listed in the last couple of days and can you write a PCA that matches Payne's? Out of everything that you've read in the last couple of days, can you actually sit down and write a PCA that matches what Brett Payne's PCA says?
If you gave me a bag of shrooms, I probably could. That's pretty much how I feel about the PCA. It's a mind trip, bro.
It's junk. It's garbage.
Yeah. And with these documents that were dropped here, what's to say in the next month that they've released something else that
completely throws this off?
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's a really good point. I feel like they're kind of like milking out certain information. So then, like a month later, they'll be like, no, wait, hold on, just
Yeah.
kidding. Just to mess with
Right.
you, just to keep you on that rabbit trail, just to keep chasing your tail. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because
Right.
any other case, they would have been released the 911 call. They would
long
have
time ago.
released all body cam footage. We still haven't
Right.
seen the traffic stop with Brian Koberger in Moscow or Latah County Sheriff Department. All these things would have been released. They're public information. You know, what are you hiding?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And then, like right here, it says from 4/19/07 to 4/21/50, DM attempts to call BF, Xana, Kaylee, and Madigan, all calls unanswered.
Yep.
Yeah, because wasn't Kaylee and Maddie's phone not working, or
Well, I was going to say, so Kaylee's phone's gone at 2:56. That's the last
Okay.
time you hear from the network. So you're not going to be able to get a hold of Kaylee anyways. As far as
Right.
Maddie, I don't know. We don't know. We haven't heard much about her phone. So, which is weird because, so then you have to ask the question, why does Kaylee's phone go off the network, but Dylan's phone's working? Bethany's phone's working? So,
right, a female ain't just gonna sit
why-
there and let her phone, or I shouldn't do that. A human being nowadays,
Right.
well,
But
that's what you say, brother.
Especially a
You'll
college
have
girl.
all the women in here attacking you.
I know I fixed it. Hopefully, please forgive me, ladies. I'm sorry, but the average human being is just not going to let their phone die unless they wanted to. And Kaylee doesn't seem like the type of person that just is okay with her phone dying.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know, I'm okay with it. I wish my
Right.
phone would die forever. Like I could hate
Right?
these things for real.
Yeah. I never wanted one. My sister got me one.
I hate
And
the
then,
concept that
you
people
know,
can reach me whenever they want. I just I
Right.
wish we'd go back to pagers. Like just I don't like cell phones. I really
So I
don't.
have
Right.
another question for you, gentlemen. So why does BM or excuse me DM claim that in the text messages that we're about to read here, where she goes, "Oh fuck, my phone is about to die." Okay, so bitch, you were on.
Right.
So at 2:10, you were texting maybe a booty call. I don't know what the hell you, but at 2:10, you are texting. Why is your phone not plugged in? How did you forget to plug it in? You're sober enough to be texting, so you didn't plug your phone in.
Right.
So that makes no
Or
sense to me.
you're concerned about your phone dying, but your 4 roommates just are dead.
Exactly. Your phone
And-
is more important to you. So you know what this tells me? This is a contrived conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a real conversation.
And what was the deal? What was the time where they said on the PCA where it says by such and such a time they were all sleeping? Do you remember?
4
Don't quote
o'clock,
me on
wasn't
that.
it? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they kind
Was
of
it-
implied that everybody was out by 4 o'clock, but they don't say specifically.
But
we know,
that doesn't make sense because then
well, it's obviously bullshit. It's obviously bullshit.
Yeah, because Xana would have had
It's
to order her
bullshit.
food at least by 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
And I still don't even, there was no business
Right.
open at that time in Moscow, let alone Poland. This is post-Corona, right after Corona. And there wasn't no 4 o'clock in the morning
Right.
delivery except Instacart from Winco. I did my research on it.
Mhm.
And it just,
Oh.
you know, so that's a mystery within itself.
Okay. Well, I always thought that was a setup anyway. I always thought that was a setup to change the timeline.
Yeah,
Because
2
if
o'clock
you
in
look
the morning
at
is the dark hour.
if you look at my timeline, I think Xana went down between 2:01 and 2:20ish or something like that, and then Ethan went down between 2:20 and 2:30, and then they get a delivery order at 2:30 to deliver at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and you know, when I was going back over that Linda Lane footage the other day, that 4 o'clock in the morning hour.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The time that they would have pulled up with the Uber driver, there was a lot of commotion going on at that house about 156, 157, according to the 1330 Linda Lane footage. You know,
Right.
I almost feel like that's about when the crime really. I'm starting to just.
Oh no.
I've kind of always felt that, but I'm starting to think that the crime had occurred before they got to the house, and when they got to the house, and probably went on till about 4 o'clock in the morning, when the DoorDash so-called got delivered to the house. I think that's about when the crime ended.
I agree.
They needed
Right.
further proof. I mean, they say that Xana's digits were severed off of her hand. God bless her soul from putting up such a good fight. I
Yeah.
did a story on this on my page where there was people where they had committed a crime similar, and they took the person's severed off thumb or finger, whatever it was, and was ordering things and accessing their bank account just off of their fingerprint
Oh
off their dead
God.
hand.
Are
Yeah,
you serious?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I'll tell you what, there is some cold freaking people out there, man.
man.
You know, I mean, there's some cold
Yeah,
people.
desensitized. We live in a
Um,
real desensitized time to whereas you can
we
watch a
do.
video of someone getting hit by a train and it's funny, and it's like, no, that person really got hurt. That person really died. That person, their family really grieved. But if you put funny music behind it and 1,000 million views behind it, it's funny.
Yeah.
And
Right. Yeah, and to me it isn't funny. And
no,
and then you look, this is what they gave us for the text messaging. No one DM to BF, no one is answering. DM, I'm really confused. DM to Gonzalez, Kaylee, DM to Gonzalez, what's going on? And this is between 422 and 424. BF to DM, yeah, dude, what the fuck? BF to DM, Zana was wearing all black. Now, why would that be? I don't understand that one either. Zana was wearing all black. Okay, then DM to BF, I'm freaking out. DM to BF, no, it's like there's something missing here. They weren't
Yeah.
even talking about mask, a ski mask. And all of a
Nope.
sudden, no, it's like ski mask almost. There's shit missing in here, dude.
Yeah, this is a contrived conversation. It's
And-
been edited. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and going back to one of the last court hearings where Ann Taylor, who was she questioning? Maybe Maori, I can't remember, but she was asking about how phones can be cloned. She had asked
Yeah.
one of the detectives or something like that, like, didn't you clone his phone? And they can do that. This is what you call here SIM swapping. Before you even go to the extreme of a stingray, you have what you call SIM swapping, and then you also have the technology of what police can use just to clone somebody's phone conversations. It just seems like there's a lot of fluff going on here, and just there's a lot missing. It just doesn't make any sense. And just,
No.
once again, they
I
gave
think
us
this
another
was-
fidget spinner.
Yeah, I think this was just to try to get us talking about all this shit because there's so much more to this, and this will keep us busy and off what really the important stuff, the very important stuff is being hidden from us. That's my opinion. I don't know if you guys think the same.
Nope. I agree with you on that one, buddy.
So what right now where we stand as advocates for justice for the four students and for Brian Kohlberger, what would you say are the two most important things that we should be doing right now as citizens, just regular old folk?
Raising hell, asking the right questions is exactly what we're doing. Toast.
Raising. I
Exactly what
guess
we're
if I was out there, I'd probably, if I was a part of Idaho, I guess I'd have to start a protest.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, dude, in front of the courthouse,
Yeah.
especially when it
Yep.
happens, dude. Really get out there and raise hell, just like the show up in shirts, like
Yep.
the Gonzalez family came in, make signs.
and that's one of the difficult things about this case. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but
Yeah.
Boise, let alone Moscow, are not convenient places to get to. They're not major international
Right.
airports, so if you fly, you might spend about $1,000 just to fly there. I could probably fly to New York for cheaper than what I could to Boise, or it's
Right.
not really off of I-5 or I-90 or I-10 or 20 or one of the major interstates. So it's really not a convenient place for people to actually be more proactive, which actually needs to be done in this stage. Concerning this case, it's at a point now where people need to be in the face of the judges, the attorneys, and
let them know that
citizens of Idaho.
we're not gonna put up with this shit, and we want to know the truth. and that our eyes, the Fockers.
Damn it, Fokker. Yeah.
Fokker. You little fuckers.
Little Fockers, right? I still crack up on those shows, dude.
Yeah, man. I love comedy. I don't watch any scary movies or anything
Yeah, I
negative
don't
like
much
that.
either.
It's just all comedy for me. Like,
Yeah, comedy and drama for me, right?
yeah.
But yeah, there's so little here. But of course, this is only supposed to be from 422 to 424. So,
and
this
where's
is
the
2
outrage
minutes.
from the parents? Now that they have this information too, and not saying that they weren't
No
privy,
shit.
where's their outrage? We're more pissed than the parents. Like, here is blatant proof that these two turds knew what happened to your precious children, and they didn't do the right thing and have the decency to call 911.
To try to save your child.
Or even go look.
Look.
Right.
See what happened. Like, fuck 911. Like, go be a decent human being. Isn't it your absolute instinct if you hear something atrocious
In your house? In your house that you're living in?
You're
You're just
involved.
gonna be like,
Right.
Yeah, you're involved in my book. If you didn't do the right thing and you were blatantly aware, you weren't sleeping. Both
Yeah,
of you
just like
guys
you said.
weren't on the first floor sound asleep. You guys knew what the hell was going on, and you didn't do anything about it.
Accessory after the fact, bro. Yep.
You didn't even have the decency to be in a frozen shock phase, go to sleep, wake up, and be like, you know what? 4 people got murdered in my house. Let me call the police. No, you call a whole bunch of people that have no business being there, that contaminated the crime scene on top of that. You know, we're talking about college students, people that probably have gone through some type of criminal justice, that have a basic understanding of the constitutional law on what you're supposed to do in a situation like this. And they didn't do, nobody did right. As far as because even Hunter Johnson, as soon as he got the phone call, like, what, Ethan's, why you guys calling me? Shit, go call 911. I'm not walking in his house. I'm not an EMT. If it just makes no sense, man. It's just they're all involved.
Right.
Yeah, something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
Fuck them all. There needs to be a petition signed to if BK is locked up right now, then their asses should be locked up too.
I agree. Absolutely.
I agree too. Yeah.
Eat mystery
until they talk.
Until
they people would be surprised how quickly they talk when there's bars separating them.
After about a day eating that mystery meat sandwich, they're gonna start talking. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
That green eggs and oatmeal in the morning. Yeah.
Right. Oh, and here comes that good gravy.
Oh God.
Gravy. Yep.
Good times.
Oh man.
Joe, didn't you tell me a horror story about some experience you had in Idaho? They locked you up in a grain sale or some shit like that. What was it?
Yeah. I'll go. I'm gonna give, since Tommy and you too.
You don't have to say too much, but yeah.
Tommy's been real good to me ever since I've been on here, and I'm gonna give him the privilege to give me the platform to tell the story in its whole entirety. All
right, do it to it, brother.
I've given bits and pieces out, but when this story is told, it needs to be told in an entirety. And
that's why I remember it. It's a good one.
And what I actually need to do is go into the Idaho court records and pull up some of the documentation pertaining to my lack of case, just so that people can see with their own eyes, what actually happened to me. And I'm not telling it for a woe is me situation. No, I'm telling it so that people can understand that anybody could be a Brian Koberger right now. Mm-hmm. We don't know how they got that knife sheet. They could have confiscated that off a dude and be like, that supersedes the 4-inch knife law. Yeah, we're taking that from you. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Idaho State Police, they have a horde of weapons that they've illegally and maybe legally confiscated off of people. It would be easy for them to frame and
do a throwdown. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your story now? Tell us your story.
You must be talking to Rory, huh?
Man, well, I got one too. But
Okay.
I'm not prepared to tell it today, and when it
No. Okay.
when
Oh,
it's
I thought
told,
you
I
were
think
gonna. Okay.
no, I think it needs to be told in its entirety and presented in a proper way, because it's that.
Well, you need to make a show on it. Is what you do then.
I'm gonna let you do it, man. You the man, because really, I would like to just delete my channel. I don't really want. Yeah,
bro, I literally helped you set that up. Please don't do that.
I know, man, but
Right.
I'll be a little pissed.
this true crime stuff,
Right.
it's distracted me from a lot of things that I really need to be out here in the world doing, and I had no interest in true crime before this case.
I feel you.
And
Yeah.
I doubt that I will afterwards, because there's been a smorgasbord of cases that's came along, and I'm like, don't care.
Don't care.
You know, it's just, this is my backyard. You know, this is real. This case really hits close to home. Almost every other week, when I speak to my daughter or my nieces and nephews that actually either went to school with some of these victims, or they're in that circle, I'm still finding out new information, almost every other day, pertaining to this case. And
right.
It really hits close to home for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude, you're from there. You grew up there. You're like the OG rapper that came out of there, man. So, I mean, I know that.
Yes, I am.
Right.
Yeah.
I am the first.
The OG.
The first one that came out of Spokane.
Right. Well, I got something else I want to share. This came out a day ago. And not to get off track here a little bit, but the guy puts out good videos. And that's you've heard of Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, he's in your chat. He comes in my chat too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's got a good channel, and people should sub to him and stuff.
I didn't know he had a channel. That's cool. Right on. I will.
Yeah, he's actually, he's a very sharp man, very, very intelligent man. And here's what he came out with a day ago. So let's take a look.
Bikes. Okay.
It's only 12 minutes
There's
long.
also, you guys, dispatch for that type of thing, firemen and EMTs, all that, because right on Taylor Avenue, literally, like a little ways up from Linda Lane. Sigma Chi. This was the president of Sigma Chi at the time of the tragedies. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Guys, the suspicious materials in question were apparently discovered by a contractor who was scheduled to service the units inside this apartment building. We talked to her, and what she says she found were pretty clear red flags that needed to be reported to authorities. Melissa Caraway works for an HVAC company that was scheduled to service units at 533 East 33rd Place in the Lake Meadows neighborhood. She says residents get advance notice that they'll be making the rounds and entering their units. When no one answered the door, she says she let herself in.
I came across some C4, some explosives, a rifle, a lot of fake IDs, a lot of fireman stuff, a lot of police force stuff.
After several hours inside, CPD says its bomb unit cleared the scene as a precaution, determining the objects were safe and posed no threat. Police say someone was placed into custody on the scene, but no further information was provided. This explosive scare again resulting in one person in custody, though it's not clear how that person is connected to what police discovered inside.
Did you see it? I'm sure you did. The number 33, 533, 33rd Place. Must be one big coinkerdinker. I am sure this number is not connected to any groups out there, and this number is not their calling card. We have this havoc worker here going inside this room, stumbling upon a bunch of fake IDs, police stuff, firefighter stuff, but more importantly, a gun and a bunch of explosives inside 533 33rd Place. Very interesting, right? At WGN, the news network, they said they were shared a video which shows Chicago police and fire insignias. This HVAC worker says she saw a bunch of police stuff, firefighter stuff, a bunch of firefighter helmets. So did she see a bunch of outfits? Did she see a bunch of costumes? And if that is the case, are we looking at actors here? I'm just saying, actors getting ready to pretend to be police and firefighters for a very big event that was about to happen.
Man taken into custody is also connected to a disturbing incident from 2022.
Like military stuff. I see the rifle, a big rifle by the window, but I looked around and I see the vision board with all these police badges and the firefighter hats.
She reached out to a few people who advised her to call police.
I pray it's not nothing, but I pray that I can stop it.
She showed officers these images and the building was soon evacuated.
Now listen to this. The article continues with, police say a man is in custody but has not been charged.
Man taken into custody is also connected to a disturbing incident from 2022.
People living nearby here tell me that there was about 6 gunshots that they heard before seeing 2 men run away. Now, people have seen this investigation playing out. Police can only tell us at this time that details are limited and they're investigating that a person has been shot. I did talk to one man who lives nearby. He was able to explain to us what he saw.
Bye! Heard about 7. First what I thought was fireworks, then I realized no, those are probably gunshots. Came running over here, and that was when all the chaos kind of commenced, and I saw two people on a bike dash away, and that was it.
So again, all this happening just about 500 feet away from that CTA red line stop near State in Chicago.
So a Sigma Chi is located close to there, right? And they're friends with the police department, the fire department.
The
and that's another thing we need to talk about too.
That I did some research on that too, like this whole ride share. That's part of the college, and
right.
There's major bureaucracy with that too, as well.
You're right. Yep. And it makes you wonder about this whole. She thought she seen a fireman.
Okay.
Think about that for a second.
Right. Okay.
Now, are they playing cops and firemen?
Man, I've never seen a fireman clad in black. Oh no! Yeah. Oh, Fire Marshal Rory.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. That's me, Tiger.
Oh
I just
my
randomly
God.
woke up. I just randomly woke up at 4 a.m. and had a fireman in my house. I don't know how
Yeah.
he got here.
A fireman clad in
Right,
black,
right.
huh? Never seen a fireman
Well,
wear
I
all
think they
black.
do have black uniforms. Some do.
That's
It
what I'm
would
hearing.
be a hazard.
That's what I'm hearing.
They have to have something reflective.
Yeah, it's
Usually,
kind of rubbery looking.
yeah, they can't be
almost.
ghosts inside of like smoke filled environment.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah.
But look at this. One suspect fled southbound in a black SUV wearing a Tommy Hilfiger jacket.
Tommy
The other
Hilfiger?
one was blue. I mean, this is crazy shit, dude. Listen to this shit, man. This is some crazy shit. And then the bikes. They were talking about bikes. Even on Lindo Lane, they were talking about bikes.
Well, yeah, wasn't there a crime that occurred in Moscow like days before this crime on the bike trail?
Chris Arthur's mother, Sharon
Yeah,
Archer,
that
has
kid
been
or
missing
something.
since.
Yeah.
There's somebody dressed in all
what's
black
that?
riding a bike. Wasn't there some kid dressed in all black riding a bike around
Yeah.
in an asshole or something like that? Yeah.
Yep.
The bike trail
Yeah,
that leads to
yeah.
Troy. That leads to Troy. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
roads lead to Troy.
So, I mean, there's some
Since
crazy
last
shit
Tuesday,
here.
she left her house. And around midnight, Archer was spotted about a mile away.
The family tells me Sharon Archer was last seen at this Exxon gas station in Coeur d'Alene. She was on video going up to
Just so people know, now Sharon Archer is the one that ended up missing and that Kaylee was investigating. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was the one.
I think
the elderly lady that was missing, and she thought she saw her or something like that at a Walmart and made a police report. Or
yeah. That's who they're talking about.
Okay.
a locked front door, walked away, and drove off in her SUV. Since then, there's been no sign of her.
Bikes! Arthur says there were a few people on bicycles, also on camera.
Maybe if any of them were there and know which way the car went, that'd be helpful.
Bikes!
Yeah, and did you see that there? Let me back that up a little bit here. Yeah, look at that. Moscow PD deny any claims University of Idaho bike path incident. So they're denying that bike path incident.
Okay.
Yeah, they can deny it all they want, but they weren't the one that called 911 and made the original report. Like somebody experienced something real on that trail that made him get to the point of calling 911 and asking for help. You know,
right?
They might not. They might have made that statement to say, "Oh, they're not linked together," or But shit, maybe next month we'll find out that they were.
Yeah, that's why I'm running this, because there's some similarities, and because of Sigma Chi, and a couple other things coming up here.
Are you familiar with any of Ra's Knight? Of any of her work?
Oh yeah, I love Roz. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I think she's been up.
Okay, yeah, she's awesome, man. I posted a link in the chat. Just not in the chat, but the back end StreamYard.
Very intelligent lady. Very intelligent lady.
I love her work. She's good at what she does.
Yeah, she is very good at what she does. Yeah, and of course that's an ongoing homicide investigation, and they deny any of the bike stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if you read the top of the article, what it says is they deny that it's part of the investigation for the crimes. They're not saying that it necessarily didn't happen. If I read that correctly.
Yeah, no, you did. I saw it like that too.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
18:38 right now. So he's still shuffling and doing something. He sounds like he's talking on the phone. See him walking?
Right there.
He walks up this way, and then he ends up going over to the left here. You do see him briefly, but not very clearly. You can hear him going off on an e-bike. So he's driving off on an e-bike at the moment, down to 1122, I presume, which it's kind of this direction.
Whose video is this? Is this Kara Willis or?
He's got off, and then
No, this is actually Sherlock Holmes. He's sharing somebody else's video. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you.
pretty soon after that, he comes back on the e-bike and scares a cat up in this corner up here. Maybe it's a car, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the e-bike getting to a car. Not sure. Could be an e-bike, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, in a couple of minutes, up here, you'll see the
So
car.
we're looking at
come
329.
back. So whether he gets an e-bike to a car and then comes back in the car or something like that, I'm not sure. Okay, you'll see that.
So this is 15 minutes after that guy walks by, if you know what I'm talking about, where that guy walks by and he's walking towards 1122. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
No? Okay, in this area over here at 3:15, a guy walks by and then he walks this way towards 1122.
Is it the guy from
he's
the
got
truck?
He's got a gray hoodie and black pants. I do believe, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I ran some shows. A bunch of people have run shows. I ran one a long time ago on it, and I've run it a couple times since then, I think. And what I said was, there's your perpetrator. If there's a perpetrator, that would be one of them.
The lights come now. See the lights of the car?
Yeah, you can see the lights of the car. And this is at
Coming right up
3:30.
here, it's going to go right down this way towards 1122. Sorry, my light keeps getting in the way here. So it comes up, comes into the car park, and then it goes around to the left there and goes down right by 1122. The back of 1122.
At 3:39.
That, I think, is when he commits
I think
the
that's
crime.
Get a Clue's Chrysler 300, ain't it?
4 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
Where nobody
Yeah.
knows or nobody's saying
Right, yep.
anyway, where Ethan and Xana were between 9 p.m. until they got home at 1:45 a.m.
There's also, you guys, there's a dispatch for that type of thing, firemen, EMTs, all that. Because right on Taylor Avenue, literally, like a little ways up from Linda Lane.
The big question is, what do we know about that very strange police call at 3:01 a.m.?
Well, we don't know much more than what you just said, Ashley. It was in the police blotter 301, had something to do with alcohol. Police did take down a report, although we haven't been able to get that report.
There was an ambulance at the crime scene at the King Roadhouse. Now, Moscow Fire Chief Brian Nickerson confirms that a call came in, so it was medical. So he states that they did dispatch an ambulance as well as a fire engine.
Now, I'm wondering, because what time was it? Like 3:30-ish, right around there, 3:20, over on Linda Lane. You can see those lights that it looks like police lights, maybe. I'm wondering if that wasn't an ambulance. Somebody else told me, I always said it was a police car, but somebody else said, no, that's an ambulance.
And you know, Tommy, I not to cut you off, but
yeah, go ahead.
Something else that's really missing from this case is a full detailed account of what they were doing that day. Like, we have a picture of them maybe before the game. And I've even gone to the point of like looking at the shadows in the picture to kind of gauge what time that picture was taken. But
all dressed in black, right?
You know, but typically with a case of this magnitude, we would have like a detailed itinerary of what they did for that day, let alone with all the social media. If they were at the football game, there would have been 100 pictures of them.
You would think,
you know, or the corner club. How long were they at the corner club? How did they get there? Who did they come with? Where were they at before that? You know, there's some major gaps that are missing that are really essential for a crime that has this much mystery to it. And it shouldn't be that way. You know, in today's time, it shouldn't be that way. There's enough people that were able to witness what they were doing throughout the day that haven't come forward, or to this day, we just still don't know. And that's a problem. You know, in my opinion.
It is. It's a huge problem. When you
If they were really,
you can't say where these people were.
Right. There's no pictures of them at the frat party. There's no pictures of them at the frat party. There's no pictures of them at the football game. There's no pictures of them hanging out with friends at a bar. Like, the only proof that we have of them at the club was that, that weird surveillance footage. But we see that Kaylee is constantly taking pictures.
And it's one picture. It's a snapshot.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Where's all those pictures? Why aren't they being shown?
We're talking.
They
about
might not see anything, but somebody else might.
We're speaking of the perspective of 4 different people. Where's all of Ethan's interactions? Where's all of Xana's interactions? Where's all of Maddie's? Where's all of Kaylee's? Where's all of Dylan and Bethany? Where are their interactions for that whole entirety of the day? Which is crucial.
Yep.
And very strange that there is no trail there.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Yeah.
Well, so you brought up Ethan, so I also want to ask this. So in the 911 call, do we ever hear anything about Ethan being in the room? No, we don't. What do we hear? It's only there's an unconscious person in the room. They can't wake him up. Who is that? It's only Xana. If Ethan is in that room, why is he not mentioned in the 911 call? It would be 2 people, not 1. Where in the goddamn hell is Ethan?
And do you notice that
where?
Steve G never mentions Ethan in interviews? He hardly will ever say that.
I have noticed that. He never talks about it.
Very strange.
It's kind of callous. It's kind of cold and callous. It's just like,
Right.
I don't know if he's holding resentment, like, oh, you weren't man enough to protect my daughter, even though it wasn't his position to do it. But,
it's not his. Yeah, exactly.
The fact that he doesn't even acknowledge that this young man had passed away in that house like that is rather telling to me too about his character.
Right.
And
character means a lot when you talk about these kind of crimes and stuff.
Yeah.
Character really does mean a lot. And,
sure it does.
And when you have somebody that keeps changing fucking stories, that says a lot about their character. And then you have people above them that are investigating this, and their stories are changing.
Yeah.
You could write a whole new PCA, right? You could write a whole new PCA with the information that we've gotten. In the last couple of days, there could be a whole new PCA.
I remember at the beginning when Steve first started being vocal, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get a private investigator. We're gonna get a private investigator," and then he pops up with an attorney.
Now, why would you get a private investigator if you can solve his family unless something's really there's a major amount of fuckery going on? They knew it right off the bat. So for some reason, they just
and if you knew that there was fuckery, I could see getting a private investigator, but why get an attorney?
Exactly.
If you're if you're a victim of if you're a family member, a victim of this crime, why would you waste a resource like that on getting an attorney?
Makes no sense.
Here's how Steve changed. When he first started coming on, he wore a hex hat. You remember that? Everybody remember that?
Yeah.
He was a man of money. Then it changed.
Yeah, well, I'm the one that released.
Now he's a man of God now.
Man, I'm the one that released. I held on to that screenshot for almost a year and a half before I ever released it to the public about him being a multimillionaire, living a semi-retired lifestyle. That there was so much information I was gathering from his LinkedIn, even to up to the minute when the account got deleted in front of my eyes on my computer. there was somebody about 3 minutes before the account got deleted in front of my eyes that was associated with Steve, and they said, Steve, you need to come clean. I know you have more involvement in this. This was a friend of his chastising him. And after he got done leaving that comment on his page, I'm sitting here watching this page get deleted in front of my eyes. A LinkedIn account.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my suspicion, and I'm not saying this is true or anything like that, but it's my suspicion that he's the one that got rid of Kaylee's LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
Someone in that family did it. Yep.
Yeah. Smoke and mirrors. Hey, let's talk about Kaylee's
no
account
doubt
being
about
tampered with, and not mention any. Like, if I'm a parent, God forbid any one of my kids pass away, the last thing I'm going to do is go delete information off my LinkedIn account.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you put information up there like that, it's like, hey, like, sort of like rappers. You can't be no rapper out here with gold teeth, big chains, and pulling up in Bentley Bottegas, and then something happens in your life, and all of a sudden you're out here doing GoFundMes. It's like, dude, you're a retired multi-millionaire living your best lifestyle. Stick to that story. You got a good job. You're an IT person.
Right.
Why are you doing GoFundMes? I hate that you lost your child or whatsoever, but
don't make money off her.
Yeah,
don't make money off your fucking deceased daughter.
Yeah, go sell your house and your car before you go ask for GoFundMes.
Right.
Go exhaust all your resources before you start tapping into mine. Especially if you're a
and don't get down on your other daughter that's begging to fucking get any kind of damn attention she can from you.
Yeah, and that's the tragedy.
And again, it comes back to character. It comes back to character.
And be honest with you,
who's this? Who's this up here? Who's
Toes? I try not to tear into any of these parents like that, but that one piece of information that I solely have, that I know of no one else to have or distribute out into this true crime community, it makes me question a lot, man. Like, you publicly stated that you're a multimillionaire. Why did you delete that, and why are you doing GoFundMes? Like, I haven't criticized any other parents, and that's the only reason why.
Yeah. Again, like I said, it comes down to character, and if you show bad character, what are we supposed to think?
Yeah.
And what are we supposed to say? And that's not the way I was raised. You know what I mean?
And then and then me coming from that region. It's that network. There's too many things that are leading back to this particular network that I am familiar with, and I'm pretty sure Rory is too, because he comes from out with the development. There's a certain group of people that are responsible for this, and a lot of it has to do with crypto, and a lot of it has to do with weed.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with people that are coming out of Silicon Valley, whether it be San Jose or Alameda, or that particular area. There's a network of people that are in that area that are what's the word we're looking for?
What does BF Sam screwed as
laundering drug money. And
right.
And when I say drug, I mean weed. I'm not trying to bastardize weed, but FDIC doesn't allow you to insure your money in a bank, so a lot of these people have to figure out a way to launder it and make it work for them and their taxes at the end of the day. And just from my research, he's part of that network of people.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to run this. This is a video of yours. This is your latest one, right?
Yeah, that was my. That I had one actually put on private, but that is my latest one.
Right. Oh, and I'm on a different account here too.
Yeah, I forgive you, Tommy. I saw that.
He's got 509. Yeah, my. I don't use this my Once Upon a Crime Time that often. I actually use my Tommy Jude one.
Yeah. I see mostly.
But yes, 591 views. You need more views. You need more views than that. You need some subs. T.O.E.S is a good man, and he always has good videos. So please subscribe and like his videos. And let's take a listen to his latest video.
Thank you, Tommy.
You can call me Toes.
Toes.
My purpose with this video here is to once again highlight the inconsistencies and the lack of transparency here. It's from a news reporter, and it was taken January 5th, 2023, right after the apparition. To the date and the agency in this video here, and then we'll come back to talk.
We also learned from the affidavit that Pullman police tracked down the suspect's car to these apartments right here on November 25th. And when Pullman police tracked the plates on that car, Brian Koberger appeared as the registered owner.
November 25th, huh? So you're telling me that the Pullman Police Department became aware of Brian Koberger before the Moscow Police Department, and they held on to that information for a few weeks until they put out the bolo of the white Hyundai Elantra from the year range of 2011 to 2013, which they broadcasted on December 7th, which I'll show in a clip here.
Breaking news in the investigation into the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. Detectives announced just minutes ago that they are interested in talking to the person or people in a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, they don't have a license plate number. That's an Elantra, but you're looking at a stock photo of the type of car they are looking for. Moscow police say the car was near the home where 3 of the students lived during the early morning hours of November 13th. That's the day the bodies of the 4 students, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves, were discovered.
Moscow police say the person or people in that car may have critical information regarding the case. They're asking anyone with information about the car or who was driving it on either the day of or day before the murders to call their tip line at the number. We have that information at ktvb.com.
With this next clip that I added, it's just to add context to show who the lead detective was, which we all know is Brett Payne.
And I'd be prepared to call my next witness.
Okay, go ahead.
Call Brett Payne.
Okay.
The lying sack of shit.
Make sure.
That's all I can say, man.
Raise your right hand.
You solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and that's but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do. All right, thank you, sir. Please have a seat. And then when you're seated, please state your name and spell your last.
Name is Brett Payne, last spelled P-A-Y-N-E.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Taylor.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Will you tell us your occupation?
I am currently employed by the Moscow Police Department as the detective corporal.
What experience do you have prior to Moscow Police Department?
I was served in the military for 6 years. 3 of those were as a commissioned officer in the military police corps.
How long have you been with Moscow Police Department?
6 years.
We're here to talk about the case of the state of Idaho versus Brian Koberger. Have you worked on that case?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your role in that case?
I was assigned as the case agent for Moscow PD for that investigation.
Does case agent mean you're the person in charge?
Yes, ma'am.
If I called you the lead detective, would that be a term that's the same thing as person in charge and
Yes,
case
ma'am.
agent?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Now, this next clip is from the same date, May 30th, 2024 trial, and this is where some of the lies begin, as far as the inconsistencies with the date of when they first came across Brian Koberger.
Does December 20th, 2022 sound familiar to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this conversation with this officer from Washington, it related backwards to when he noticed an Elantra. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
But when he noticed it, you didn't know about that yet. Is that also correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you don't know about him or talk to him until December 20th, 2022, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
We also learned from the affidavit that Pullman police tracked down the suspect's car to these apartments right here on November 25th. And when Pullman police tracked the plates on that car, Brian Koberger appeared as the registered owner.
Now, what we have here is from a reading of the transcript of the closed hearing on January 23rd, 2025. It is not my voice. It will be read in the voice of Lana and Bella. So don't confuse Brett Payne's feminine voice for Lana's and Bella's.
And when was the first time you heard Brian Koberger's name?
The first time I heard Brian Koberger's name was December 19th, 2022.
And what was that a result of?
That was a result of investigative genetic genealogy that was being undertaken by the FBI. We had a phone call that evening, and we were told Brian Koberger's name.
And before that, Mr. Koberger was not on your radar?
No, ma'am.
We also learned from the affidavit that Pullman police tracked down the suspect's car to these apartments right here on November 25th. And when Pullman police tracked the plates on that car, Brian Koberger appeared as the registered owner.
Oh, excuse me, my bad. Now they're saying it's December 23rd, 2022 when Brian Koberger first came under their radar.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll try to hit that as hard as I can then. Your Honor, in this case, there were a lot of search warrants. I'm going to draw the court's attention to those beginning on December 23rd. That day is important because it was just a few days prior to that for the first time ever, Brian Koberger's name came up in the course of this investigation. Your Honor wouldn't know that by reading the affidavits for probable cause. Nobody would know that. That's because that information is omitted from the affidavit.
We also learned from the affidavit that Pullman police tracked down the suspect's car to these apartments right here on November 25th. And when Pullman police tracked the plates on that car, Brian Koberger appeared as the registered owner.
But those are put in there to try to bolster up this investigation and say it was something that it wasn't. Probably the worst part of that is relying on, after the BOLO went out for 2011-13 Elantra.
Breaking news in the investigation into the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, detectives announced just minutes ago that they are interested in talking to the person or people in a white 2011-2013 Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, they don't have a license plate number. That's an Elantra, but you're looking at a stock photo of the type of car they're looking for. Moscow police say the car was near the home where 3 of the students lived during the early morning hours of November 13th. That's the day the bodies of the 4 students, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves, were discovered.
Then WSU, Washington State University, officers find cars. They find one that's registered to Brian Koberger, parked at the apartments he lived in, but it was a 2015 Elantra, and so they don't really do much with it. But this is placed. That is placed in the affidavit like it was an investigative fact, and it wasn't. It was on the 20th of December when the lead detective, got a hold of WSU police and found out about that and said, oh, hey, you called this in. He didn't know about that before, but there's no context around that. That's just stacked in there like it creates probable cause when it doesn't.
So hopefully you guys get the point that I'm trying to put across here with this video. The inconsistencies, the lack of transparency, and the flat out lies. It's sort of like, at the beginning, both roommates that survived were asleep on the first floor, didn't hear anything, didn't see anything, and then look where we are today. Well, I'm going to play this last clip for kicks and giggles. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Transparency Over Every Speculation, and don't forget, you can call me Toes. Have a blessed day, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Could you please state your name and spell your last for the record?
Brett Payne, last is spelled Payne.
And what's your title?
I'm the detective corporal for
Spelled Liar.
Moscow Police Department.
Can you tell the court, I know you testified yesterday, but it was a different hearing. And so just to lay a little bit of foundation, can you tell the court your background in law enforcement?
So I've been with Moscow Police Department for almost 7 years now. Prior to that, I was in the active duty military for 6. 3 of those were as a commissioned officer in the military police corps.
What is your role in this case?
I was assigned lead detective in this particular investigation.
And so as lead detective, can you explain from your perspective what that has meant that you have done?
Certainly. So it was my responsibility to basically view this investigation from a 30,000-foot view, if you will. Directly, it's the teams that were assigned to various tasks, and then taking all that information, synthesize it, put it back out to our group, and then eventually consolidate it into an affidavit.
Good video. Good video, T.O.E.S.
Yeah, that was good, bro.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So make sure that you guys sub up to him and Rory both. I'm sure most of you are subbed up to Rory. We need T.O.E.S to get up there, and Rory needs to keep growing too, and so do I. We all need to
I'm
keep
almost
growing.
at 1,000, man. Maybe I could do something special for my 1,000th subscriber or something.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to do something, right?
And my growth, I could have accelerated it. I could be putting out more content, but I'm just really not here for that. But hey, I'm here for the ride. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
But we'll just see where this takes it. But my heart right here is just really into just finding justice for those 4 students and even Brian Kohlberger.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be doing this, see if I can show this here. I'm going to be doing some giveaways on some CDs of mine. So at some point, I've said something and I did it on purpose so I could ask a question later on. I planted this a while back, and whoever gets the question right is going to get free CDs. So better watch the videos.
Hey Tommy, I only want the Christmas songs that you do. That's the only CD that I want.
I got them.
I just want the Christmas songs.
I got them live, dude. But trust me, you don't want them. Oh man!
And I even have merchandise too that I'm going to be giving away here. I have hoodies, Letterman jackets. Yeah, this is one of my hats right here that I'm wearing.
That's cool. Right on. I like that.
I do my own merchandise.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting some shirts and stuff like that. Then I got some CDs. I thought, well, why not? Why not do that? Sign copies of some CDs. Something like that. That's always a good thing to do. But yeah, where are we at here? What do we want to talk about? There was something that was said earlier. Go ahead, Rory.
No, I was just going to say, Huda has a good question. She's asking, DM called her dad before 911. That's true, right?
Probably tried to make sure he made it home. He probably gave her the green light, like, yeah, I'm home. Go ahead and make that phone call.
Daddy, I got myself in some shit. What do I do? That's what
he knew. I honestly,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows exactly.
Right.
He knows.
Right.
He knows. He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of something here earlier. Something was said. And I hate that when something said, and you go, I'm going to remember this, and I'm going to remember this, and then fuck, you can't remember it. That happened to me just a little while ago.
We didn't talk about the DNA that was found under Maddie's fingernails.
Yeah, right.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I ran across something on that last night in the paperwork, and am I right? Are they trying to suppress that? Then is that what they're trying to do? Is suppress this?
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not going to say confirm or deny that, but I mean, it would not surprise me at all.
I thought I read something last night. I'm gonna have to do some more digging on this, but I thought I read somewhere last
I
night.
just don't want to confirm or deny right now because, yeah, like you.
Right.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it's actually the state admitted that it's another piece of evidence that's exculpatory to Brian Kohberger, which is odd. It's like the state is like, it's like, who's fighting this case? If you got the state saying like this evidence is exculpatory to dude, like, man, what's going on here? What's
Anne's just gonna kick back and let them fucking see, let them win the case.
Gosh.
So, Tommy, you and I were kind of talking about this. What do you think the possible exculpatory evidence would be that Bethany has? Is it that DM wasn't there? Is it that?
Man. That's what I'm thinking.
She wasn't there.
That's what I'm thinking.
What is it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They could have been texting from anywhere, and especially when. Why did she say down here?
That makes no sense. Yep.
And we talked about this in our backstage last night, Rory.
Yes, we did.
And you showed where it's two separate things, in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think she was there. She called at 2:10, right? She called numbnuts at 2:10.
Yep.
Right. And then you don't hear from her for 2 hours.
So what would that imply? Why would you be at home in your room, snug in your bed, whatever, trying to fall asleep, and you're like, "Hey, are you driving right now?" So there's one of two things: you're looking for a ride. You're looking for a ride. You're not at home, or you want to bang. That's the only two things I could think of that make any logical sense for that to happen. So why is she texting this guy? Because Kaylee and Maddie are already home, so there's no reason for you to be like, or if she's texting, "Hey, where's Kaylee and Maddie? Are you driving right now?" They're supposed to be home.
Right.
So that conversation always didn't happen either. So Dylan, you make no sense. Dylan, DM, be cray. That's what you are. You do not make sense. You were texting me. Where are you that night? I think she is not at home at 2:10 because the only possible thing that makes sense, let's try to think logically here, is that she's somewhere else and needs a ride home.
I was just gonna say she might be calling for a fucking ride home.
And
going
back to Chief Fry's first initial statement that there's no threat to the community, and
that's bullshit.
At first, the house was targeted. And now everyone carry on. There's no threat to the community, and this is where the first thought actually originated. But going back to what I said earlier, I think something happened on the weekend of Halloween, and I feel like something bad happened to Dylan. And I feel as if she is in such great communication with her father that she let him know, and he actually probably went the right path and maybe made some phone calls to MPD or the university like, "Hey, yada yada whoop-de-whoop happened to my daughter. You guys get on it, take care of it, and if you don't, I will." And I feel as if they didn't move to the likeness of his speed.
Right.
And I think that's where we are today. To where's almost to the point where he actually put out the warning and let them know what he was going to do if they didn't take care of it, and he did it. And that's why Chief Fry was so prone to come out and be like, "Oh, there's no threat to the community," because they knew who did it. It's like you can clearly see that they're protecting this young lady.
No doubt about it.
And what it's going to do, it's going to expose the reason why they probably couldn't deal with this problem efficiently, because there's probably 100 other females ahead of her that went through that same weekend or that same month or around that same time. This is something that happens on a lot of college campuses, and not just that one. There's a lot of females out here being.
It's happening. It's happening every day.
Yeah,
it's happening every day.
And
that's. I've ran stories on that, on the whole. What do you call it? Fraternities and sororities and all this fucking what do they call it? Hazing shit. And That shit needs to stop. That shit needs to end. Actually, to tell you the truth, in my opinion, I think they should end Greek life. We're not Greek. We're,
Yeah, I'm not Greek. I like
we're Americans. You know?
I like Mediterranean food, but I am not Greek.
Right.
And it's funny you say that, because where I live here, which is different demographically than where I come from, like here we have an all-black university, right? And they have Greek life on their campus, and I've always found that as an oddity. Like, okay,
very oddity, yeah, right.
It's weird because they'll brand. They like, I know a lot of people that have, like, how they brand cows. What if you're a Kappa or Omega or Alpha or whatever, they'll actually brand you, and it's just like, wow, what kind of influence does this Greek culture life really have over you, to whereas you're willing to allow yourself to be branded like a cow, especially considering the history that you as an oppressed people come from. Like, why would you subject yourself to another form of subjectivity, I guess?
Another thing that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a question here. Hey, Tom, can you answer this question? Why did DM call her daddy? Wasn't it about someone bothering her or something? What is the whole story on that? Do you know what it is, Rory or Toa?
We don't know. It's in the documents what time she called her dad, so that's pretty imperative into why that we got context into why she called her dad at that specific time. Do we know the reason? No, we don't.
I think that the crime scene was controlled from the very beginning that it started till the time that she called her dad and was like, okay, do I got the green light? It's starting to smell like boo-boo up in here. Can I make the call? And I think he gave her the green light to go ahead and
probably.
Yeah, that's a different opinion. Yeah, that's definitely different. Yeah.
I can't help it. It's like if there's in a situation like this, if you survived, if you have someone that came into a house that was so tactical to the point to where there's no trace of DNA, but you survived, you mean to tell me that they swept up all their DNA but left 2 living souls up in this house? That more or less tells me that you guys were a part of this. They, why would a killer that's so tactical spare your life? Who are you? That's greater than these 4 people that just died. And like I mentioned before, look at the odds. I like to play poker. The people that survived in that house were south of Moscow, and all the people that died in that house were north of Moscow, meaning Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Priest Lake, kind of Mount Vernon. That's another story. But what's the odds?
Right.
People say that Bethany comes from Reno. Well, no, that's where Bethany is. I've seen pictures of Bethany before she had blonde hair, where she's sitting on Jack Showalter's lap.
Yep. I've seen that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Like a long time ago. Like she must have been like 15 years old or something.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, so they've known each other a long time. So Bethany and I forgot about that, Toes. I'm glad you reminded me about that one.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, Tommy.
All right. Just what the spark? It's to spark an old man's memory.
Hey, we're all here to help each other. Rory, you're going to be the one helping me out. I think you're a little bit younger than me, and we're all.
No, man, you still got your faculties, bro. You're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder about mine. Oh, Jessica here, my singer of Ghost. You guys have seen her do songs. Anyway, she asked, why did Dylan call Bethany after she got home?
Why did Dylan call Bethany after? I don't understand the question. I need more context.
Yeah, I don't understand that one either, Jessica.
Help.
Yeah, help on that one.
Yeah, I don't really recall that being in the documents saying she called Bethany right when she got home. I
might
have missed it.
Darling Nikki said that DM called her dad around 10 a.m. Oh, that's 10 a.m. Yeah, I thought 10 p.m.
Yeah, she called him right before they called. I think she called her dad like at 10:50. Don't quote me on that, but that feels about right. And I think they called the authorities around like maybe 30 minutes after she spoke to her dad or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I'm looking for some more questions. Questions, anybody? We're in the question part, so we're getting towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I saw those pics. Bella said, "Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing that, and I thought, holy shit, does she look young?
Yeah,
she looked like 15, 16 years old, sitting on Showalter's lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've known each other a long time.
And
Yeah.
one thing I can't
don't
deny,
think-
yeah, Showalter was on a mission that night, man. He was on a mission.
I do believe so. He definitely was on a mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with
the way
that.
he took off.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica goes,
So-
it makes no sense. The girls get home together, but Dylan calls Bethany and she doesn't answer. Oh, okay. I think I know what she's talking about.
Let me ask
Yeah. Bethany doesn't answer. I do know what she's talking about. When she was trying to call everybody and Bethany doesn't answer the fucking phone. Why didn't she answer the phone? She apparently was awake.
Yeah, and then the
So
protocol, the evidence. It's who goes after invisible, imaginary touch transfer DNA when you have blood spatter, when you have saliva, when you have DNA under fingernails.
Right.
There's steps, there's protocols that they have to follow when it even comes to. It just makes no sense. Like why would they have done something like that? It just more or less proves to us that this case is fabricated. That Brian Koberger is a fabricated person. Your first priority should have been the blood on the stairs, the blood on the glove, the DNA, the skin, the actual physical skin that you probably saw clumped up under not just Maddie but everyone else's.
Yeah, well, the first thing of order would be get everybody the fuck out of the house and off the property, because they're messing up. When you have people out in that parking lot, which is dirt, it's going to mess up all the footprints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That place was contaminated by the time they got there.
And
Oh yeah.
As funny as it sounds, but it's not funny. But whoever committed this crime must have been reading a farmer's almanac, because if this crime would have happened one day later, just think about the tracks that would have been left behind due to the snow. The tire tracks. They would have been able to follow that vehicle as far as they
right.
The foot tracks that would have left that house and went into that house to determine where the vehicle was parked. Just by one day,
right?
One day was able to determine the difference.
Right. And Kim House has something good. Stage texting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. I'm sitting here going, things are missing. Maybe they're not. Maybe it was just a stage texting.
Yeah.
Possible. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's create evidence. But Cy Ray is going to be able to tear that to shreds. He's going to be able to determine where they were in that house, if they were on the first floor, or if they were actually on the phone while they were texting. He's one of the people that's going to be able to really dig into that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Moonflower, Evan, supposedly, the way I take it, is the neighbor. But I do believe there's an Evan that's a brother of somebody, but I can't remember who.
Who is this?
I think somebody was lying, honestly. When they got on that phone, they didn't want to reveal their true person. They're like, oh, yeah, this is Evan. Like, that's my opinion, just from reading the transcripts, and because you didn't see that name pop up before or after that, and Bubbly would have discovered that name. We would have known of Evan.
Right. And Nikki, I think it's pretty hard to delete totally. I think can't they go into your phone, and even if it's deleted, they can they got their computers or whatever. They can drag that stuff right back.
Yeah, and then to answer Darla Nikki's question, hell yeah.
Yeah, you might think you're deleting your messages. You're not.
Yeah, you're not. But yep,
Yeah.
I do.
And
I do.
Jessica on here again. Where was she from the time she got home from the time the first text from Dylan? And she's talking about Bethany Funk. Where was she from the time she got home from the time of the first text from Dylan?
Yeah.
Where was she?
Not just where was she, but what was she doing? Did she order food?
Right.
Did she eat? You know, we have all this documentation of, you know, everybody else.
People eating, right?
Yeah, especially at that time. You've been drinking all night and whatever else that's been in your gut. You're sorry.
We all know how it is to drink. And then when you're done drinking, you fucking eat.
Then you go to sleep. You know, and
Right.
these girls were up. And I don't believe that they were asleep. They knew that they knew.
Right.
They knew it was going down before it happened.
That's what I think too.
They even cleaned up. I mean, regardless if Hunter Johnson walked in that house and like, oh shit, it's a crime scene. I just stepped on blood. Give me some bleach. And they're still, in my opinion, responsible for that because they didn't do the right thing and called 911 before they called Hunter Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something else that has to be answered for as well, is the latent
right.
footprint.
For as much as we got, we didn't get shit.
No.
For as much as we got, we didn't get shit, people. There really, of all that paperwork, you can read it over and over and over. And what is something new that helps Mr. Kohlberger? There's probably a couple items. But it really didn't do much. And to me, it's almost like they're letting out again what they want to let out, and they're keeping keeping stuff hidden.
They're controlling the narrative.
They're controlling the narrative.
It's like the crime scene was controlled, and it's like they're questioning our intelligence. We deserve transparency. Give us the truth.
Right.
If you can't give us the truth, then you're involved. Period.
Yeah, exactly.
You're involved.
Yeah. If you got sent to the principal's office and you kept making up different stories.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's common sense. It's common sense to go, you're a little lying fuck.
I remember plenty of times getting punished for what my brother did. You know, just because my mom knew that I saw what he did and I didn't come and tell her first. You know, they're all involved. Right. If anybody is hiding the truth and not making this case as easy and as solvable as possibly could be, you're involved. You're hindering justice. There's a dude sitting in county jail. Forget prison. Prison. Once you go to prison, you're good. You can get TVs and
you're good. Yeah.
honey buns galore. Yeah. I love honey buns, but there's a dude sitting in county jail right now. You know, and we haven't even seen one clear image of this dude. He crossed 2 different states, 2 different cities, and we haven't seen one picture of this dude yet.
Nope.
Right.
Hey, Tommy. So Jessica keeps telling you to check your email.
Yeah, I think I went over that though, didn't I, Jessica? I think I went over that you're talking about. I'll check it, but I'm pretty sure I already know what you're talking about. I thought I went over it. But,
yeah, we're all calling bullshit.
Okay.
And there's a video that Heather Fitzgerald did.
Yeah, we're all bullshit, right?
about a month ago where it shows the house being tore down in detail. And if you look, when that crane is tearing into that house, you'll see that the drywall from in the stairwell going from the second floor to the third floor, the drywall is already taken off. It's already removed. I don't think that they're being fully transparent with us about this blood either. I think there was blood throughout that whole entire house.
There's a big shot of me in Maddie's room there.
Yeah, because why else would you tear down drywall in a stairwell?
So what she's here. Instead, it would be offered to show a timeline for the night. Yes, yeah, exactly. DM was awake and texting at 2:10:29 from 4:19 to 4:21. DM attempts to call BF. Xana, Kaylee, and Madison. All calls were unanswered. So she tried calling BF at 4:19 to 4:21, and BF doesn't answer the phone. And that's a little bit strange also. Why didn't she answer the phone?
Yeah, she was probably waiting for the assailant to fully leave the neighborhood. She was probably trying to follow instructions. You know, the people, I'm assuming even if they had to leave the house temporarily, you know, like how we speculated earlier that they even came back at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatsoever. 4:21 would put it at the exact time that the person would have left the house. And let's say it's the person in the 4x4, 4:23. She was probably at least she's probably at least waiting until after until she saw some indication that one
They're gone.
of the 3 or 4 of the assailants had left the neighborhood before she starts getting on the phone jaw jacking with Dylan.
With the right, that makes sense. That's something. You know what's crazy is everything I hear from other creators who are on the same side and everything here, and you guys and me and everything is we make sense. There's a common sense to our thinking, and where mainstream media and the police and everything, where they lost common sense in this case. And the only thing that makes me wonder why is there's got to be some corruption.
Yeah, and plus all of them that you mentioned, they get paid to follow a script. We don't have a script and we don't get paid.
Nope.
You know,
I don't get paid.
That's why I'm not so rough on Nancy Grace and Banfield and and I'm not condoning what they do, but people have to realize that they're paid for what they do. Nancy Grace's net worth is like $25 million. She gets paid about $8 million a year.
Right.
If someone paid me $8 million a year, I don't care what anybody has to say about me. I'm gonna lie and do all kind of crazy shit just because that's what I get paid to do.
For $8 million, I'll even watch Nancy Grace.
Man, I'm gonna tap dance. Exactly, right? So people, please take that in consideration when you're talking about these poor human souls, that they're human beings too, but they actually have a job and we don't. We're out here advocating, you know, off of our own goodness. And that's the difference between us and them. You know, that's why you can see the bags underneath their eyes and the 8-inch layers of makeup that they have to
That's
wear.
me. I think we lose more sleep than they do, dude. They probably sleep really well.
I've gone to bed too many nights thinking about this case. Waking up it's consumed too much of my my database.
Right. Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna call her a night here. I think it was a great night. I thank you, T.O.E.S, for being my guest, and Rory for jumping up and being my guest. I appreciate you both. And Rory, you got a show tomorrow night, don't you?
Sure do. It'll be about 5 p.m. Pacific time. So, yep.
So, okay, you got with me. You got to talk my time, or I don't know where the fuck I am. What am I in Japan or something?
Are you fucking Dylan Morrison right now? Don't know where you are. Don't know what you
He's in
saw.
the closet
You're a
shop.
fireman in your fucking house right now?
So that'd be 7
o'clock.
Like 7 o'clock my time. Okay. All right. All right. So Rory's got a show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, and you know it's going to be good. So we hope to see you there. And again, we will be talking about this, I'm sure, for a while. I want to go look at what's brand new tonight. We didn't do that, but I want to look at it first before we talk about it. And yeah. So, but anyway, thanks you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. And until next time, man.
Yeah, man. This is a good energy.
Rock
Let's
and
keep it
roll.
up. All right. Good night, Rory. Good night,
All right.
Tommy.
Take care, man. Yep.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
You too, bro.
I missed the day, but I'm too right to care anyway. I look around and see this face. What the hell have I lost my taste? Don't want to find out. Just want to cut out. My head explodes, my ears ring. I can't remember just where I've been. So that I recall, I got lost in a deep black hole. Don't want to find out. Just want to cut out. Blackout. I'm really in a blackout. 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 I grab my things and make it run, but on my way out another one. Would like to know before I stop, did I make it or did I flop? Don't want to find out. Just want to blackout. I'm really in a blackout. 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 Don't want to find out. Just want to get out. Blackout. I'm really in a blackout. 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 Can I get a Can I get a The fire's gotta burn, the one is gonna turn, the rain has gotta fall. Fate is gonna call, but I just keep on breathing. Long as my heart is beating. Someone's gotta hate, it's never gonna change. Gets harder every day, it's a hell of a place to keep your heart from freezing, to keep yourself believing. But I won't run, I'm not afraid. Look 'em in the eye, gonna hear me say it's my life, my love, my sex, my drug, my lust. My God, it ain't no sin. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my tears, my hurt. My God, I'll say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Life has gotta kill, faith is gonna blind, hope is gonna fade, the truth is gonna lie. Sometimes there's no reason to justify the meaning. I'm not ashamed, it's gonna take more than this for me to break. My life, my love, my sex, my drug, my lust. My God, it ain't no sin. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my tears, my hurt. My God, I'll say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My life, my love, my sex, my drug, my life, my life, my lust, my sex, my drug, my lust. My God, it ain't no sin. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my tears, my hurt. My God, I'll say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I get an amen? Oh, can I get it? Can I get an amen? the ground. Whispers of the cold wind, they sing stories of grief. Red eyes stare from the top of the abyss. Black wings of silence, they tell stories never seen before. Fly high, dark crow, take the pain from this place. In your feathers all the weights of endless secrets. Eternal cry of the dead, echoes of despair. Sharp beat brings with it the harbinger of doom. Fly high, dark crow, take the pain from this place. In your feathers all the weights of endless secrets.